When thinking of the end of a Roman ruling presence in the West, many look towards the alleged fall of the Western Roman Empire after deposition of Romulus Augustus in 476 AD. Or they look at the assassination of Julius Nepos and subsequent fall of Roman Dalmatia in 480. However, another date that many don't look towards is 486 AD and the fall of the domain of Soissons, a Roman rump state in northern Gaul. Welcome to the Diadoco YouTube channel. Today we will be looking into the last Western Roman rump state, the domain of Soissons, and its war with the Franks resulting in its fall in 486 AD, after the devastating Battle of Soissons, which would decide who would be the rulers of Gaul. The foundation of the domain of Soissons begins during the reign of the great Western Roman Empire Majorian, who ruled from 457 to 461, and is accredited with a brief restoration of the Western Roman Empire, with his consolidation of Gaul and his conquest of Hispania, and appointed his trusted friend and subordinate Aegidius as Magister Militum per Gallias, or Master of Soldiers for Gaul. Upon Majorian's deposition and murder by his once trusted friend Ricimer, Aegidius refused to recognize Ricimer's new puppet emperor, Liberius Severus, and in turn switched his allegiance from Rome to Emperor Leo in Constantinople, who also did not recognize Liberius. In 463, due to Visigothic encroachment on his territory, Aegidius would ally with the Aunas and the Salian Franks under King Childeric. This combined Germano-Roman force would defeat the Visigoths under Theodoric II at Orleans, killing his brother Frederick in the process. Following his victory, he would defeat the Visigoths again at a small engagement near the Chinon. However, he would not go on an offensive against the Visigoths due to a lack of resources. In autumn of the following year in 464, Aegidius would die suddenly. It is disputed by historians as to whether he died of natural causes, or perished due to poisoning, or in an ambush while on campaign. Either way, what is known is that he was succeeded by his son Sigarius, who took the life of Dux. However, to his neighbors he was referred to as the Rex Romanorum, or King of the Romans. And chroniclers such as Gregory of Tours would refer to his domain as Regnum Romanorum, or Kingdom of the Romans. In 476 AD, when the rogue general Odoacer deposed Romulus Augustulus and created the Kingdom of Italy, Sigarius sent an embassy to Emperor Zeno in Constantinople, in hope of gaining legitimacy. However, the emperor instead chose to recognize Odoacer's right to rule Italy nominally, and recognized Julius Nepos's domain in Dalmatia as the true Western Roman Empire. Following this, all ties were cut between Soissons and Italy, and Soissons had no further contact with the Eastern Empire. However, even following this, Sigarius would still claim he was merely governing a Roman province, when in actuality, his domain was its own independent realm. In 481, the situation for the kingdom would change again, once Childeric, the ruler of the Salian Franks, would die, and be succeeded by his son Clovis I. In the winter of 486, wishing to add Soissons to his domain, Clovis mustered a force of around 6,000 troops, and began invading Sigarius' domain, making his way towards the capital of Noviodunum, modern-day Soissons. Clovis issued a challenge to Sigarius, who promptly accepted, and mustered a force of 6,000 to confront them near the city. Not much is known about the battle itself, so we will provide a hypothesis as to what occurred, based on tactics commonly used by the Franks and the Romans. A link will be provided in the description of our research, so you can check it out for yourselves. The battle began with Roman archers firing into the Frankish lines, having a devastating effect. In return, Frankish skirmishers armed with javelins advanced forwards towards the Roman lines. Once in range, they hurled their javelins towards the Romans, but were met with a flurry of Roman plumbata, or heavy darts, causing them to break and retreat back, only to be pursued by Roman horse archers, who upon making it to the Frankish lines, fired on them also. In response, the Frankish first line and heavy cavalry began their charge, prompting the Roman horse archers to withdraw. The Franks managed to cut through the archers and push through the Roman center. However, the flanks were not budging. This prompted the Frankish center to have its flanks exposed, which was exploited by the Romans, causing the center to retreat. Upon seeing their center retreating, the rest of the Frankish first line followed. At this time, the Roman cavalry surged forward, and engaged the Frankish one, while the Frankish second line moved forwards and rallied what was left of the first line, forming a wedged formation akin to the one utilized by the Romans against Boudica around 400 years earlier. The Frankish line manages to hit the Romans with devastating effect. The fighting is brutal, as the Roman units find themselves isolated between the wedges. Fearing for their lives, the Roman levies and archers break and retreat, while the legionaries stand firm and are surrounded. At this time, the cavalry manages to defeat the Frankish cavalry, but it is already too late. The Frankish line surrounds the remaining Roman infantry and cuts them down to a man. Seeing that he was defeated, Sigarius fled to the kingdom of the Visigoths, abandoning his domain. However, due to their fear of the Franks, the Visigoths imprisoned Sigarius and handed him over to the Franks, who had him killed. The defeat at Soissons marked the end of a true Western Roman ruling presence. While Sigarius was killed, one interesting thing to note is that his descendants would prosper under Frankish rule, as seen with a count who was within his family being sent by King Guntram to Constantinople on a diplomatic mission in 585. Thank you for watching our video on the fall of Soissons. Please like and subscribe. And if you wish to support us, our Patreon is linked in the description. Thanks again, and see you all next time.